What's up, everybody? It's Tam from UFSU University, and welcome back to TLDR, where we read the rulebook so you don't have to. Our rules journey today is going to take us through the difference between drawing cards and adding cards to our hand, courtesy of Chris Smith from Rockford CCG. Okay, so I scoured all through the forums, the JASCO site, the LGR, everything, and not one speck of any official confirmation on the differences between drawing and adding cards to your hand. The best I could find was some forum posts with a reply that said, all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. And what they meant by that is, drawing cards is adding cards, but adding cards is not drawing cards. Most experienced players understand the difference, but with so many cards with different terminologies that interact with drawing and adding, it would still benefit you to know what certain cards could respond to and what they couldn't. So let's start with two of the most popular cards that draw, Coffee Samba and Nutcracker. The draw ability on Coffee Samba says, E, draw 2 cards, : your opponent draws 2 cards. The reason this card is really popular is because the draw 2 for you is a cost, meaning your opponent cannot cancel it with something like Venomous, but they can respond with something like For Mother Russia. The reason you cannot respond with Venomous is because its ability responds to your opponent playing an ability that adds to their hand, and Coffee Samba's ability did not. The cost did. Now, for Nutcracker, its ability is E: add 1 foundation from your discard pile to your card pool. In any order, draw 1 card. Drawing is not the cost for this ability, so you can respond with Venomous. Take note, if you do want to cancel it, you have to cancel the entire ability, meaning that they will not add the card to their card pool. Next, we will talk about cards that add to the hand, like the Big Shots, Punch and Judy, and Reptile's Attack, Force Ball. Big Shot Punch and Big Shot Judy were 2 incredibly powerful actions that came out in Cowboy Bebop. Big Shot Punch said, remove, : this attack gets +3 or -3 damage, and add Judy from your discard pile to your hand. And Judy said, +3 or -3 speed, add a punch. When your opponent adds their punch or Judy, you could respond to something like Extended Lifespan that allows you to draw any time your opponent adds a card to their hand. You could also use Extended Lifespan to respond to something like Coffee Samba's draw, since Extended does not care how the cards get added, just that they do. Let's look at something like Force Ball. Force Ball says combo E: reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add all mid attacks to your hand, and discard the rest. If you wanted to negate this ability with something like Venomous, you would have to do it before they revealed the top cards. The reason is because revealing and adding are all the same ability. And if you want to cancel the ability, you'll have to cancel the entire ability, meaning you do not know if Force Ball will add to the hand or not. And in the case of Extended Lifespan, you could only respond if they did add with its ability. Next, we will talk about the floating effects of something like Takedown. Floating effects are abilities that can or could resolve at a later time. Takedown says, if this attack is not blocked, discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard an attack card. Add the discarded attack to your hand. Just like with Force Ball, to negate this ability, you have to do it when it's activated, and not when you're unable to block. You can still respond with things like Extended Lifespan or For Mother Russia if you don't block and they do add the attack to their hand. There are also cards in the game that draw by static, like Balance Fighter. Balance Fighter states, when it's discarded, draw 1 card. Unfortunately, there are no ways to cancel this static draw, since it's not a played ability. So you couldn't respond with Venomous, but you could still play For Mother Russia. Some cards of the game are weird to interact with when it comes to drawing and adding, like Search Snake. It has a form ability on it that says, while it's face up in your momentum, discard 1 card to add it to your hand. So if you negate this ability with Venomous, your opponent could still discard and try to add it again. Or something like Demon Realm Awakening's damage ability can be negated by Venomous, because when at deadlock, it can add. So even if the opponent is not at deadlock, it can still be negated since the ability could add. Even cards that don't interact with cards that draw can still negate them. Take Overly Dramatic, for example. It can negate Punch and Judy because their abilities alter the stats on attacks, so you can sometimes use certain cards in unintended ways, all because of how open the effects are in UFS. Just remember that drawing cards counts as adding cards, but adding cards does not count as drawing them. If you want clarity on any of the rules that I mentioned here in this video, direct your questions to ryan@jascogames.com. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure you check out more of our content. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit us up on Facebook, Discord, and Twitter. And check out the Patreon at patreon.com/UFS University. Let us know what you'd like me to cover next. And as always, stay learned. Or something like Demon Realm Awakening's damage ability can be negated by Venomous, because when at deadlock, it can add. So even if the opponent is not at deadlock, it can still be negated since the ability could add. What? Demon Realm Awakening.
Demon Realm Awakening says your attack is +1 damage. If your opponent's at deadlock, add a second copy of this card. Add another copy of this card.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
You can cancel that damage ability.
Wow, I did not know that. Leave all of this in. That's insane. I'm learning shit right now.